Brian, you officially have the Cleveland Browns going 10-7. So I'm going to put you down here for the over 8.5
I
wins.
was surprised at how I thought maybe I would like them to make the playoffs. Anytime I see a division that definitely is way closer than having two teams priced near even money and two teams priced near the bot, like whatever 8-6 to 1 the Steelers and Browns are. I'm gonna gravitate towards the bottom half, especially when the bottom half has shown repeatedly they can beat the top half teams. So this is crazy to me that the market thinks there's a huge difference between, as much as I like the Ravens as well.
Yeah.
There's not a huge difference between the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers. So why are you giving us this juicy, whether it's win total, make playoffs price, division price? I'll ride the ladder. I don't know if I'm getting involved in playoff shit, but.
So wait, you said don't make playoffs?
No, I said take it all.
Okay, so
over win total, make playoffs.
Okay, division. What was the division?
What did we have on this? I'm seeing a 6 to 1. It's trolling around the internet right now. So
I mean, that's
honestly, this is one that I think I'm shame on me for not getting into earlier, but I'm gonna paper ticket this one when we're out for the circus sign up weekend, Sean.
What about you, Dave? Any of these futures you like as well?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. That 8.5 doesn't. I thought it'd be 9.5.
Yeah.
So that makes me really nervous because it looks way too good to be true.
Yeah. Anytime you're like, this team gets at least 9 wins. What are you talking about? That's a little concerning.
But I've taken the Browns over 5.5 and been like, it's a lock. And no, it
wasn't. So you like over 8.5 wins. Can we talk you into the AFC North 6 to 1?
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could talk me into it. Absolutely. I think it's I think it's coming down to the last week.
Yeah,
and honestly, I've found myself cooling off on the Cincinnati hype, and so for me, it's like I can get behind Lamar second year in this offense, like them taking a step forward. Sure, some question about the defensive side of the ball, but yeah, to me, you have to play the variance in this division, and so the idea. Maybe you're an exacta type, maybe you're a superfecta type. I think there's a lot of ways you can, take the Bengals and Ravens and maybe knock them down a position, move the Browns and Steelers up. Like what, I toyed with the idea, Sean, of doing a Steelers Browns exacta. Let me actually pull that price up because I thought maybe that would be stupid, but yeah, I mean it does seem like why are they any. I know I understand the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh, but the Cleveland already just showed us they could be good, whether it's a backup quarterback or Deshaun. So,
yeah, I will toss in. I know it's kind of decently low odds, but Myles Garrett to lead the league in sacks at 5 to 1. I mean,
what's
very
he at, like
realistic?
13, 14.
Sorry, what'd you say?
What is he at, like 13, 14 sacks? His over under.
Oh yeah, I don't know what his total is, but to your point, like
it's not high.
Yeah, I think he does have a especially with some of the stuff they're doing on the defensive line, like he definitely has a ceiling here for sacks. He's coming off a 14 sack season, but the previous seasons 16 and 16. So for him to get up to 16, 17, I think TJ Watt had 19, certainly going to be in the mix. A 5 to 1. I think it's a fun way to bet this defense. Cause I think, again, he'll probably have a couple of these games where he racks up a ton, against some of these weaker offensive lines. What about most team sacks? Browns are 11 to 1. Or Myles Garrett most individual sacks. How would you? Myles Garrett is 5 to 1. Team is 11 to 1. Do you have a thought on those two, Dave?
Yeah, give me Myles Garrett. So I bet on him for defensive player of the year last year. Completely forgot that I did it. That was awesome. Yeah, so give me his over on sacks.
Nothing like when you open up the app and you're like, wait, what? I totally forgot about this. That's great.
Where did that money come from? Let's see, Sean. I would, this is the Nick Chubb comeback player of the year.
Okay. He's one of the favorites though, right?
He's 9 to 1.
Yeah.
To me, we kind of broke this down on VSiN. and we were able to basically eliminate most of the players on the board except for Kirk Cousins, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, and Nick Chubb. And so any interest in that, Sean, or no?
No, I'm not talking.
Next year, maybe we look at some Nick Chubb stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing Nick Chubb just because as we saw with Joe Flacco, like this award clearly it's not as bad as MVP, but it just does favor quarterbacks so much. I mean, I understand why he's low price because if he comes, towards the end of the season, if he's healthy, and he's an interesting. I would still be drafting him in best ball because if you're talking about the playoffs, like the fantasy playoffs, if he's healthy at that time, late season Browns where he's able to run the ball 20 times and where you can draft him at right now, I think could be a fun value, but I'm not comeback player of the year for me. Dave, what about you? Any of the awards stuff you find intriguing?
I'm with you on Chubb. I don't think he's going to come back and he's going to get 25 carries a game. They're going to be careful with Chubb and use him, where we can. So yeah, I'd stick away from that one. I like Njoku's over in touchdowns for the year.
Okay.
That guy's been such an incredible weapon, and every single year he's going to improve in that red zone.
His over on underdog, Sean, you can get 5.5.
Okay,
spicy,
nice.
A little spicy.
All right,
flavor.
I like that.
You're talking the Garrett number 13 3/4, also over on underdog. So yeah, I mean that does seem that actually. If you want to throw my underdog play, that is my underdog.
The
play.
Njoku?
No, Myles Garrett to go higher than his sack total. I mean, I guess I can. You can talk yourself into him having a lower total because he's taken out of the defense, but good luck.
Yeah, I mean, they've tried that strategy the past few years. Like Myles Garrett is just a game wrecker, and yeah, you can draw up some stuff against him.
Well, I would also point out that they have some games early in the season where he could rack up some nice. Like he's going to have a very nice matchup against the quarterback that will get sacked, Jaden Daniels. And I think we could see some nice single game totals. And you look at the number for Myles Garrett compared to some of the other sack guys out there, knowing that he's had lower totals through his career is a little strange because since he kind of arrived on the scene as the guy, he only one season has gone beneath this back in 2020 with 12. Since then, 16, right. 16, 14. And so it's hard to imagine he's going to go beneath that again now that he's with more help. So, block it up, Sean. Higher
on Myles Garrett. Yeah, I mean, how can you? Myles Garrett also is just a guy that's just so fun to watch.
Yeah, remember when they
toss dudes around?
They were trying to say he wasn't going to be a great player because he had interests outside of football.
I mean, that one was of all the weird draft stories.
He speaks too well. Can't play football.
Do you remember what the other interests were? I don't. I
feel remember. Like he has a music or art interest that.
Yeah.
Poetry.
Football. Yeah.
What's up?
Loves poetry.
There you go. There you go. So the football guys are like, "What's this shit? You like poetry? Why aren't you grinding film, bitch?"
Walden's Pond. You like that kind of stuff?
Then Myles Garrett just palms the coach's head. Get the fuck out of here.
Tosses him.
Correct.
I mean, also, I think when you're building a pass rusher, the fact that the guy's really into poetry, kind of in a weird way, almost makes him scarier. Oh man, just him reading some Edgar Allan Poe night before the game. To me, that's kind of intimidating.
I think of some great gladiators.
Quote the Raven, nevermore. You could, there's a lot you could do there to intimidate guys with poetry.
Mike Tyson was a poet.
There we go. Enough said.
Spinal.
Yes, he was a man. Okay, for my underdog play, I'll go Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Lower passing yards, 3,400.5. And now this is I'm not one to predict injury, but I do think if they struggle a little bit, if he gets a little nicked up, you got Jameis right there. Plus the offense in general, even when, he was winning games for them last year, it's, 230, 180. Yeah. They're not, this isn't a lighted up passing offense. And if he does get through 17 games, especially those games late in the season, I just think to get over this, it has to be a very consistent, very stable Deshaun Watson season, which I think is just tough to get there. And I think they can be good without that. Obviously, I think if he's awesome though, they certainly do have a pretty high ceiling, but I'll take the lower on his passing yards there.
Okay.
Sean, I'm with you there. But I think
okay.
if you look at passing yards, receiving yards, if you're looking for an over, I would go Amari Cooper.
Okay.
He could have 1,000-yard season easily, and he's under that on most books, I believe. So he's got something to prove. He's pissed about all the Ayuk rumors here in Cleveland. So look for that guy to ball out this year.
No, I mean his routes, his footwork is always like super impressive.
Very underrated.
I still have to remind myself he's not on the Cowboys, and it's okay to like him, because just like watching him, I'm like, oh shit, this guy's awesome. But then he was such a Cowboy. I got to remind myself, it's all right. He's on the Browns now.
If you had to guess, how many yards did Amari Cooper finish with in the regular season last year?
Oh geez, off the top of my head, I would say 1,100.
1,250.
Wow.
He finished 10th in the league, and we can agree that there were and he missed some games, and we can agree there was also maybe some opportunity. His catch percentage was insanely low. I think that might have had something to do with the quarterback play. So
now what's his current? Do you see a total for him for?
Yeah, so his number, I'll use the underdog, 975.5.
Okay, yeah.
Seems very unlikely he doesn't get to 1,000. To me, this is like Mike Evans, but younger. He's just, and if anything, we've heard some reporting around the team, and I don't think there's a ton of confidence in the other receivers, even named Jerry Judy. And so,
yeah,
I think Amari Cooper he plays through a lot of shit too. Like he plays banged up. And again, look at some of their road games. Look at some of their early home games. There's going to be good passing situations for this team.
Yeah, so. I'm with you. I like that. I'll put that down for all of us. And
I think you can even. I mean, again, Jameis once had a 5,000-yard season where he had 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
Just to be clear, Ryan, reminder: he's not starting.
No, but that's the pressure cooker that's behind Deshaun Watson.
So Ryan, if I gave you an over/under, how many games is Jameis going to play?
Oh, this is a great one.
That feels like a better question for you, but I mean, how does he not play over 4 games? I would say whatever. What did Flacco play last year? Was it 5, 6? Now if the line was at like Jameis to play 1.5 games, I would smash the over. I'd say 4 games he plays.
I think 2.5 is a line where you could get action on both sides. I mean, also too, like Deshaun Watson's injury issues aside, he is coming back from something. So, tweaking that or whatever, knock on wood for you guys. But also too, it's a 17-game season. Like even quarterbacks that are pretty reliable health wise, we see them miss 1 or 2 games anyway, just from like, maybe obviously a concussion. Now your quarterbacks usually miss a game. You twist an ankle, but it's not a high ankle sprain. You still might miss a game. Like even if you have a relatively healthy season, you're going to get knocked around, especially in this division. I mean, I like your guys' defense, but Steelers have a pretty good defense. Bengals got some pass rush. Like it's AFC North football. It's fun to watch, but there's some physicality to it. So, yeah, I would set the line 2.5 games. Are you going over or under that one, Dave?
I'm over for that. Hopefully it's garbage time at the end of the season. I don't see that happening, but
you guys have the 1 seed clinched, and Jameis gets to start the last 3 games. As a Browns fan, that's a dream scenario because you get to see Jameis out there having fun.
Jameis Winston to have the most regular season passing yards in the division.
Jameis Winston
to have the most passing yards in the division in the regular season, just in case, Sean.
Yeah. What is this?
200-1.
Okay. I'll put that
on my card, please. Touchdowns is also
Kramer. Like, okay. Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Injury history. Lamar Jackson might not make it through a season. You never know.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Steelers, they're probably gonna split starts, and
that's what I'm saying.
Both those guys aren't yardage. I just wrote it down for me too because
touchdowns.
You got to have some sort of fun Jameis bet. I mean, just look at what Flacco did. If Jameis comes in there and it clicks with Stefanski, would anyone be surprised?
What does a crab leg cost? What do you think he stole? Like $50 worth?
Okay,
I'm gonna do $25 at Costco per leg.
Okay. So I'm going to do $25 on the touchdowns bet at 200-1, and I'm going to do a $25 crab leg bet on the yards at 200 to 1.
So, and this is just in the AFC North. So
just in the North.
Yeah. So again, it's.
I mean, there are good quarterbacks in the North. In fairness, I mean, Russ still plays there. Justin Fields, all the greats. Just throwing shade at Lamar.
I'll just do the yards.
All right. That feels like a cop out, but that's fine. I'm getting 2 crab legs. You're getting 1.
All right, let's close it out with all the best bets we got. Kramer and I have the Browns going 10-7. Big play Dave, we got him up to 11-6. He likes the Njoku higher, 5.5 receiving touchdowns. I'm on the lower passing yards. Kramer likes the Garrett sacks. And Jameis long shot on the division passing yards and touchdowns for Ryan. Just for me, passing yards. But the Amari Cooper stuff feels good.
Who, by the way, is 4-1 for the receiving yard, divisional receiving yards market, which is basically like him versus Jamar Chase, I guess.
Yeah,
interesting matchup there.
Kramer's got him over. Well, we all got him over 8.5 wins. Dave,